Elizabeth Dutton's story is just beginning, despite the heartbreak, loss, and betrayal she has endured. Elizabeth Dutton's journey in 1923 is far from over, and actress Michelle Randolph is finally breaking her silence on what's coming next. We have everything you need to know about Elizabeth's role in Season 3 and beyond, from chilling behind-the-scenes moments to rumours of a major comeback. This is about to get personal, so buckle up. What we know about Elizabeth in Season 3. Elizabeth Dutton's return in 1923. Season 3 is one of the most anticipated storylines in the Yellowstone universe. Fans have been eager to see where her journey takes her after the emotional rollercoaster of Season 1, characterized by love, loss, and a fierce determination to survive. Played by Michelle Randolph, Elizabeth carved out a memorable space for herself as more than just Jack Dutton's fiancée. She became a symbol of resilience in a world that demands strength from everyone, especially the women of the Yellowstone legacy. Though Paramount has kept major plot details under wraps, behind-the-scenes whispers and casting confirmations suggest Elizabeth will have a prominent role this season. The sighting of Michelle Randolph on set has sparked speculation that her character's story is far from over. There's talk that Season 3 will fast forward a bit in time, giving us a more mature, hardened version of Elizabeth, possibly one shaped by the hardships she endured at the ranch and the loss of her unborn child. Elizabeth is in a unique position narratively. She represents the hope for the Dutton lineage to continue, something that carries immense weight in a world where legacy means everything. Under the weight of their shared grief, her relationship with Jack, who is still coming to terms with the tragedy, could either strengthen under pressure or fall apart. In any case, fans can anticipate that her role will go beyond that of a supporting love interest. Elizabeth stands to become a new type of Dutton woman, one who combines toughness and compassion. Season 3 is also shaping up to explore more of the power dynamics within the ranch, and Elizabeth might play a key role in that shift. With Cara Dutton still in charge and the ranch constantly in danger, Elizabeth could become a crucial link between generations, learning the ropes and finding her own voice. She won't just pick up where she left off when she returns. It's about evolution, endurance, and the quiet fire that has kept the Dutton name alive through the toughest of times. How she might develop as a person. In Season 3, Elizabeth Dutton's development in 1923 may have marked a significant shift in the show's emotional core. Elizabeth begins the season carrying not only the grief of losing her child, but also the profound heartache of losing her husband, now that Jack Dutton has passed away. Her character has endured more loss than most, and that grief could forge her into something entirely new. A woman no longer defined by who she loved, but by who she chooses to become in the wake of it all. This season may see Elizabeth stepping into a much more central role, one defined by independence, resilience, and quiet fury. Without Jack, she is no longer tethered to a traditional future on the ranch. That loss might unshackle her, allowing her to forge her own path in a world where women are often expected to grieve silently and disappear. But Elizabeth has proven she's not the type to fade into the background. She's survived too much. Season 3 could showcase her reclaiming control, not just of her life, but of her place in the Dutton legacy. The emotional depth of her character could be explored in ways we haven't seen yet, through leadership, confrontation, and possibly even revenge. Whether she stays on the ranch or seeks something beyond it, her arc could become one of transformation through pain. She may become a steward of the land Jack died protecting, or a force of reckoning for those who wronged him. Regardless, she is no longer simply coping with tragedy, rather she is rising from it. Elizabeth's growth now carries the weight of legacy. She may be the last tie to Jack's line, and perhaps the one left to carry his name forward. In addition, she is emerging as a symbol of quiet defiance and survival. Season 3 won't just show us who Elizabeth Dutton was, It will reveal who she's becoming, a woman shaped by sorrow but not broken by it. Potential spin-off rumors. Rumors of a possible 1923 spin-off centered on Elizabeth Dutton have begun to gain momentum as the Yellowstone universe expands. With Jack gone and her arc left wide open, Elizabeth stands as a compelling figure, one whose story is far from finished. She's a survivor, a symbol of the next generation, and exactly the kind of character who could anchor her own chapter in Taylor Sheridan's ever-growing Western saga. The idea of an Elizabeth spin-off isn't far-fetched. She carries the emotional scars of love, loss, and legacy, rich territory for deeper storytelling. The narrative potential is enormous, whether it focuses on her struggle to find independence after tragedy or follows her journey as she forges a life outside of the Dutton ranch. With Michelle Randolph's breakout performance in 1923, fans and critics alike have taken notice. Elizabeth's quiet strength has a magnetic quality that begs for more screen time. Spin-off rumors have hinted at a possible time jump, perhaps placing Elizabeth years down the line, older, wiser, and more hardened by the world she's had to survive. That opens the door to new characters, new alliances, and possibly a different view of the American West through a woman's eyes. In ways that 1923 did not even begin to touch on, a standalone series could investigate issues like land ownership, gender roles, and personal redemption. What makes Elizabeth such a strong candidate for a spin-off isn't just what she's lost, it's what she still has left to fight for. In the ashes of Jack's death and the silence that follows, there's a fire quietly building. If the Yellowstone universe is truly about legacy, then Elizabeth Dutton might just be the one to carry it into a new era. On her own terms, with her own story to tell. Her role in the ranch's survival. The significance of Elizabeth's contribution to the continuation of the Dutton legacy increases. Once a young bride-to-be with dreams of a life outside the harsh realities of ranching, Elizabeth is now forced to reckon with a world that has hardened her. The ranch, the land, and the Dutton name all hang in the balance, and Elizabeth's strength may prove to be one of its few lifelines. In 1923 Season 3, Elizabeth could find herself thrust into a much more active role in the ranch's daily operations. No longer just a figurehead or a grieving widow, she might need to step up as a leader, taking on responsibilities that once fell to Jack or even to Cara Dutton. Whether she's managing the cattle, overseeing the ranch hands, or protecting the family's interests from rival factions, Elizabeth's hands are about to get much dirtier. Her greatest strength may now be the emotional stamina that got her this far. Her connection to the land is deeper than just blood. It's the heritage and survival of the family itself that will push her to embrace this new role. Elizabeth may be the last person who can appreciate the personal sacrifices and the harsh ranch lifestyle. Her survival thus far has shown she has what it takes to endure in a world that offers no guarantees. Now, she might have to make decisions that will determine the ranch's fate for generations to come. Elizabeth's family relationships may also be influenced by this shift into a more practical and hands-on role. As a woman on the frontier, her presence in a leadership position will challenge old power dynamics and spark a new kind of respect, even from the most traditional Duttons. The question will no longer be whether Elizabeth Dutton can survive. Rather, it will be whether she can thrive, leading the ranch into a future that is as uncertain as the land itself. Is Elizabeth the next matriarch of the Dutton family? With the tragic loss of Jack Dutton, Elizabeth finds herself at a crossroads few women in the Yellowstone universe have faced. She is now on her own, but she is not defeated because she is no longer a wife or a mother-to-be. In a world ruled by bloodlines and legacy, the role of matriarch isn't given. It's earned through heartbreak, strength, and an unyielding will to survive. Elizabeth Dutton is the most likely candidate to take on that role. Powerful women have always defined the Dutton family. Cara Dutton currently stands as the unshakable matriarch, a pillar of grit and grace, but she won't hold that title forever. Elizabeth, though younger and shaped by a different kind of sorrow, is being forged in the same fire. Season 3 may be the beginning of her transformation into the next great female force of the Dutton name, a torchbearer for a legacy drenched in both land and loss. What sets Elizabeth apart is her deep emotional well. She's not hardened in the way the Dutton men often are. She is strong because she can feel everything and still get through it. If she stays with the family and claims her place in the ranch's future, she won't just be holding on to what Jack left behind. She'll be building something of her own. Matriarchs aren't made in moments of peace. They're born in chaos, shaped by war, and sustained by love that never dies. Elizabeth may not have set out to become the next great Dutton woman, but grief has a way of awakening what strength never could. She might become the voice that keeps the family moving forward in Jack's silence. What Michelle Randolph has said about Season 3. When it comes to Elizabeth Dutton's return in 1923. Season 3, Michelle Randolph has provided just enough information for fans to stoke the flames of speculation. Though tight-lipped about exact plot details, her reflections on past scenes and hints about what's to come paint a clear picture. Elizabeth is far from done. Behind the quiet vulnerability we've seen lies a character being shaped for something greater, and Randolph knows it. In one of her most memorable behind-the-scenes stories, Randolph described filming Elizabeth's heartbreaking moment of joy, running barefoot in the snow to tell Jack she was pregnant, only to have that moment unravel in sorrow. The emotional weight of the scene was immense, the temperature was below freezing, and the silk pajamas offered no protection. That was one of the hardest days, she admitted. But what emerged from it was raw truth, a young woman caught between the dream of a future and the brutal reality of the West. Randolph doesn't mince words when discussing Elizabeth's journey. She acknowledges the loss, the pain, the rage, all of it. But what stands out most is her admiration for Elizabeth's resilience. She has said that Season 3 will show a different kind of strength, Elizabeth who has been tested and tempered and is not just surviving but starting to shape her own future after everything she has lost. And the story might not stop with 1923. Michelle has teased the possibility of continuing Elizabeth's saga in 1944, another chapter in Taylor Sheridan's ever-growing frontier universe. She has even made a joke about getting older with the help of prosthetics, showing that she cares about following Elizabeth's development throughout the Dutton legacy. If that's the case, we're only scratching the surface of a character destined to leave a lasting mark on the Yellowstone timeline. Elizabeth Dutton may have entered 1923 as a dreamer, but Season 3 could see her return as a force of reckoning. One of the most powerful arcs in the Yellowstone universe begins when Michelle Randolph fully embraces the fire beneath her grief. We'll be there every second if this is the next Dutton matriarch in the making.